An anti-violence rally is planned in the same area where that Englewood mass shooting happened. Some of the community turned to their faith last night in this building. Canaan Community Church is near the crime scene. Alderman Stephanie Coleman is planning tonight's rally with 7th District Police.
Let's wake up, come together, become unified, get prepared for a safe holiday.
The rally is tonight at 6 o'clock at 57th and South May.
WGN Sunday Evening News.
But we are not going to spare any resource to track down the people who are responsible for this and bring them to justice.
Lori Lightfoot reacting after 13 people were shot at a gathering overnight in Englewood. Good evening, I'm Tamon Bradley.
I'm Jackie Bang, and WGN's Megan Dwyer is live at police headquarters with the very latest. Megan.
And Tamon, earlier today, the mayor called this an act of bloodshed. Chicago police say they are now questioning one suspect in this case, a suspect who was just released from the hospital. The alderman in that district says certainly they are used to violence, but not on this block. Around 12:30 this morning, it was chaos in the 5700 block of South May in Englewood.
13 people got shot.
Police say a fight broke out at a house party in a vacant apartment, and the violence spilled outside.
When you start firing inside, horrible things are going to happen.
This is an isolated incident. This incident stemmed from a dispute within that party.
Chicago police say when the first shots were fired, everyone tried to get out of the house. That's when the shooter started randomly firing outside, even into a passing car.
I'm concerned for our children, for our seniors on that block.
13 people were shot, 4 are in critical condition.
The first 6 to 7 shots I heard, I always lay low. Then I heard a car take off real quick. Then I heard 6 or 7 more shots.
The most badly injured was just 16 years old.
It's heart-wrenching, to see this going in my neighborhood.
Residents say it's a block filled with old graystones.
This has never happened.
Families.
This is a wonderful block.
The party had been a memorial celebration for a 22-year-old man who was killed back in April when he tried to steal a car in the Loop.
People in that house know what happened, and we would urge them to overcome their fears and come forward with information.
Police do have video of the whole thing from pod cameras in the area, and they say they will be upping patrol in and around that area all weekend into next weekend because of the warmer weather coming up. We're live at police headquarters tonight. Megan Dwyer, WGN News.
All right, Megan. Thank you.
Developing news, a mass shooting, more than a dozen hurt.
People screaming and running.
Tonight, an arrest, but there are still many questions. Good evening, I'm Jim Williams. 13 people were shot. Some are in critical condition. We have team coverage, starting with the first person charged. CBS 2's Jeremy Ross joins us from outside the University of Chicago Medical Center with the latest on the victims and the investigation. Jeremy, good evening.
Jim, more than a dozen needing medical attention. At this time, we know of at least 2 of those victims in critical condition, many of them tended to in the hospital building behind me, and the circumstances as well as the people involved starting to become more clear this evening.
767 Charlie, the whole house is going to be a crime scene. The whole house, there's blood everywhere.
People screaming and running. It seemed like there was about 100 police officers running to the scene. So it seemed like it was close.
Terrence Daniele was woken by the gunfire early Sunday morning near 57th and May. When the gun violence inside and outside a home here stopped, the ambulance run started. In total, 13 victims were shot. Police announcing charges were filed against 37-year-old Marciano White. White has a history of drug and battery charges. Investigators say he was at Sunday's scene with a gun, and they're in the process of determining his role in the case.
People in that house know what happened, and we would urge them to overcome their fears and come forward with information.
Mayor Lori Lightfoot suggesting some who saw the crime haven't fully cooperated with investigators. Family members say they were gathered in the Englewood home to remember the life of 22-year-old Linnell Irvin. He was shot and killed back on April 26th. Police said Irvin tried to carjack a 41-year-old man at gunpoint. The driver, a concealed carry license holder, shot and killed the 22-year-old. Nearly 8 months after his death, gunfire is again linked with his name. though it is unclear what triggered the recent shooting, injuring more than a dozen, their ages ranging from 16 to 48 years old.
They're devastated, and many of them are still in tremendous amount of pain, recovering from their injuries, but they're also in psychological pain.
The mayor describing this as a cowardly act. The Chicago Police Department describing this as an open and ongoing investigation. We could see additional charges in the hours as well as days ahead. Live outside the University of Chicago Medical Center, Jeremy Ross, CBS 2 News. Jim.
Jeremy, thank you.
This morning, police are trying to figure out who's behind a mass shooting at a home on the city's south side. 13 people were shot early Sunday morning in Englewood. In just about 2 hours, a man who was at that same party will go before a judge. CBS 2's Mugo Odigwe is at the Layton Criminal Courthouse.
Police still haven't charged anyone with the shooting. In fact, the man scheduled to appear in court later this afternoon at 1 has only been charged with having a gun at the scene. Here he is on your screen. 37-year-old Marciano White has been charged with unlawful use of a weapon. Investigators are now in the process of determining his role in the case. White has a history of drug and battery charges. According to police, family members were gathered in the Englewood home to remember the life of 22-year-old Lonell Irvin. He was shot and killed back on April 26 when he tried to carjack a 41-year-old man at gunpoint. The driver, a concealed carry license holder, pulled out his own gun and shot Irvin in the head. As for Sunday's mass shooting, police say an argument started inside the house before the shooting happened. Mayor Lori Lightfoot is urging witnesses to come forward.
People in that house know what happened, and we would urge them to overcome their fears and come forward with information so that the police can do their job in tracking down the people who are responsible for this terrible act.
Again, White is expected in court in about 2 hours. Police say this is still an ongoing investigation, and we could see additional charges. At 26th and Cal, Mugo Odigwe, CBS 2 News.